Hello, welcome to the Z Standing Ready channel. I am a licensed mental health counselor, licensed hypnotherapist, and psychotherapist. I have been a mental health counselor since 2006. Today, I will look at one of Sigmund Freud's defense mechanisms, namely repression. Repression is rooted in his psychoanalytic theory. Freud believed that defense mechanisms are psychological strategies employed by the ego to manage the conflict between the id, instinctual and primal desires, and the superego, moral and societal standards. I will examine the process of repression and also its legal admissibility of recovered hidden memories in court proceedings. The primary reason people use defense mechanisms is to protect their ego or sense of self from feelings of anxiety, guilt, or inferiority. When the ego perceives a threat from unacceptable thoughts and feelings, it uses these mechanisms to diminish distress. Defense mechanisms usually operate unconsciously. People are not usually aware that they are using them. This is because acknowledging the distressing thoughts or feelings might cause anxiety or disturb their self-image. Defense mechanisms help manage these conflicts by finding ways to cope with urges and desires that are in conflict with societal norms or personal morals. By defending against feelings of anxiety and guilt, these mechanisms can help maintain mental stability. We all use these defense mechanisms every day. We would be in poor mental shape if we did not. They act as a buffer, allowing individuals to function without being overwhelmed by negative emotions or internal conflicts. They help by reducing the feelings of anxiety or depression a person would usually feel if the ego defense mechanisms were not in place. While some defense mechanisms can be adaptive and help individuals cope with stress, others can be maladaptive. For example, using humor to deal with stress is generally considered adaptive, while constantly relying on denial might prevent someone from facing important truths and addressing real problems. Freud discovered 10 defense mechanisms we employ to help us relieve mental stress. They are called sublimation, conversion, projection, displacement, regression, reaction formation, rationalization, intellectualism, identification, and repression. Today, I will discuss the concept and implementation of one of the defense mechanisms, specifically repression. I will discuss the remaining 9 ego defense mechanisms in upcoming videos. So here's an example of a repressed thought and its consequences. Let's consider the story of Martin, a 35-year-old accountant who exemplifies this concept. Martin, a meticulous and organized professional, always felt inexplicably anxious during social gatherings and avoided them whenever possible. Despite his successful career and seemingly stable life, he experiencing recurring bouts of unexplained depression and social anxiety, which baffled him since he couldn't pinpoint any reason in his conscious mind. As a child, Martin was bright and curious, often exploring his neighborhood with friends. However, his childhood memories were mostly fragmented, with a significant period around the age of 8 being particularly hazy. His parents, both busy professionals, never delved much into discussing past family events, preferring to focus on the present and the future instead. The turning point came when Martin, encouraged by a friend, decided to seek therapy for his unexplained anxieties. Through the process of psychoanalysis, Martin and his therapist gradually uncovered repressed memories of a childhood incident. At the young age of 8 years old, Martin had witnessed a traumatic event, specifically a severe altercation between his parents. The incident had been so distressing that his young mind chose to repress the memory, forgetting all about it in later life. This allowed him to protect himself from emotional pain. This repressed memory subconsciously influenced Martin's behavior and emotional responses, particularly his anxiety in social situations, which could be traced back to the fear and instability he felt during that traumatic event. By bringing this repressed memory to his conscious awareness, Martin was able to confront and process the emotions associated with it. This understanding allowed him to work through the unresolved trauma, leading to significant improvements in his emotional well-being and social interactions. In Freudian terms, Martin's journey exemplified the classic case of repressed memories manifesting as psychological symptoms. His story demonstrates the profound impact of unresolved past events on present behavior and the potential of psychoanalytic therapy in uncovering and healing these deep-seated emotional wounds. However, there are some real and legal concerns if the recollection of a repressed memory can be considered accurate. The legal status of repressed memory recovery, particularly in the context of legal proceedings, is a complex and contentious issue. It involves the intersection of psychology, law, and the reliability of memory. Here's an in-depth look into various legal aspects of this topic and how reliable these memories can be. Definition of repressed memories. These are hypothesized memories of traumatic events that have been pushed out of the conscious awareness by the individual. The concept suggests that these memories can be recovered through therapy or spontaneously revealing themselves, and therein lies the controversy. The idea of repressed memories is highly contentious in psychology. Some experts assert that memories of trauma can be unconsciously blocked and later recovered, while others argue that the process of recovery can lead to the creation of false memories, or in other words, planning a believed but false memory. Legal challenges and concerns. The admissibility of repressed memories as evidence in court varies by jurisdiction. Courts often apply criteria to determine the reliability of such evidence, including the methodology used to recover the memories and expert testimony. False memory syndrome. This is a phenomenon where a person's identity and relationships are affected by strongly believed but false memories of traumatic experiences. It raises concerns about the accuracy of repressed memories recovered through therapy. Influential legal cases. There have been landmark cases where repressed memories played a crucial role, sometimes leading to convictions that were later questioned or overturned due to the concerns about the reliability of repressed memories. Psychological perspectives. Memory is not a static process. It is dynamic and can be influenced by various factors, including suggestion, stress, and time. Techniques like hypnosis or guided imagery used in some therapies to recover memories are particularly controversial, as they can increase the risk of creating false memories. Therapists working with patients who claim repressed memories face ethical challenges, including the potential for implanting false memories or to overlook genuine cases of trauma. Legal professionals and psychologists must navigate the ethical implications of using such memories in court, balancing the need for justice with the risk of relying on potentially unreliable evidence. The acceptance of repressed memories in legal settings varies significantly across different regions and legal systems. In some places, they are more readily acceptable, while in others, there is greater skepticism. Courts often rely on expert testimony to understand the nature of memory and the possibility of repression, which can significantly influence a case's outcome. Evolution of understanding. The understanding and legal standing of repressed memories has evolved over time, influenced by psychological research and high-profile legal cases. Continuous research in psychology is gradually shaping the legal perspectives on the validity and reliability of repressed memory recovery. Conclusion. The legal status of the validity of repressed memory recovery is a nuanced and evolving issue. It reflects the complex relationship between the psychological understanding and legal standards. Courts must balance the need for reliable evidence with recognizing the complexities of human memory and trauma. As legal and psychological fields evolve, the approach to repressed memories in legal contexts continues to develop.